Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Any doubts so far in the last week's session? Suman, you were supposed to go through the videos and ask questions.
No, no doubt so far, ma'am. The last
Okay.
lecture was clear.
Okay.
I have gone through few of the lectures, but I have not completed those. I'll ask if any question arises.
Sure.
Yes.
And Anjan Vedehi, did you get a chance to go through the Sunday class?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay. Though it's a very simple topic that we covered, we were talking about selection and interviews. I really wanted to do mock interviews with all of you, but I think we'll do it someday when we are about to complete the course syllabus, and then we'll have time and then we'll do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. So today we'll be completing the topic which is called onboarding induction. So any thoughts on this particular topic?
Ma'am,
Have you heard
means
about this topic? What do you do when you do onboarding or induction?
on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So please go ahead. I'll do less talking, more talking would be from you guys. You can see my throat is really bad.
Yes. Onboarding, ma'am, particularly as an employee, I am not sure, but it is a process where we have to complete all the documentation work, all
Hmm.
the previous employment documentation, salary slips, and everything that is provided to them. And they also ease us with all the team members or the department that we will be assigned to. So
Hmm.
onboarding includes all the like joining of employee with the respective department and making them acquaintance with their managers or anyone. I think this is the process of onboarding, and induction is something giving a practical overview of the work for
Hmm.
first few days, like training us under a senior or experienced person. Probably
Hmm.
orientation and induction are the same thing, as per my knowledge, ma'am, so far.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am,
Good.
that's it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Anjan, you want to share? You were saying something?
Ma'am, onboarding means that if we hire the employee, so we need some documents regarding for verification purpose in onboarding.
Hmm.
Like if he or she is working previous in the organization, so what is the last 6 months salary slips and these and their mark sheets and their mark sheets also. So these things are considered in the onboarding process. And
Okay.
induction and orientation are the same thing because uh, as an in induction, HR decide in which product he or she is aligned, and
Hmm.
orientation means if the employee join in the first day, so it's given overview about the organization, how the organization runs, and what are the vision and mission of the organization. So it is clearly defined to the employees in the first day of the orientation.
Okay.
And if we go more in detail, if the employee join the any other team, like if I join the HR team, so first day HR will tell me about the key responsibilities areas. So what are my key responsibility areas? What I have to done, and what are the organization is expecting from me. So I have to cover these KRAs in the organization.
Right. Okay. Cool. So quite a good understanding you guys have, right? So before we start the topic, literally, like, I mean, talking about what it is, what are the definitions, what are the things that comes in, let's try and do it through a case study method this time, right? So you can read this case study. You can see the screen, right?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
You want to read it loud, you can read it loud, or you want to read on your own, you can do that.
Now, yes, I can read. It is a case study of orientation. Adam fresh from school was a newly recruited HR practitioner. During his 1 month into the job, he was asked to be in charge of the orientation program for the entire organization. Being new, he followed closely to the processes. Recently, Roy joined the organization and Adam was required to orientate him. On Roy's first day of work, Adam brought him around the organization for introduction to the rest of the staffs. Unfortunately, Roy, his assigned mentor, was not around, hence, Adam was unable to make an official introduction for Roy to meet up with his mentor.
Hmm.
In the afternoon, during the HR briefing, Adam mentioned to Roy that there is a buddy system in place, but it is only on an opt-in basis. Roy requested to opt for a buddy. Adam was rather surprised by Roy's request, as according to Adam's manager, Gene, no one in the organization has requested for a buddy. Hence, Adam checked with Jean on the criteria in getting a buddy for Roy, and according to her, Adam found out that it needed to be someone, preferably from Roy's department. Having clarified on the criteria, Adam was supposed to get a buddy for Roy. Unfortunately, this issue was clearly forgotten by Adam due to his busy schedule, as he was involved in other HR matters as well, and he did not follow up with Roy's request promptly. 1 week later, Adam met Roy in a lunch gathering, and Adam greeted Roy and asked him casually how he is doing and if he has adapted well to this job. Roy asked Adam bluntly and angrily where is his buddy that he had requested. At that moment, Adam recalled on the existence of his request and unwittingly told Roy that he thought Roy was joking with him on the request for a buddy, as he did not want to admit to Roy that he had clearly forgotten about the whole issue.
Yeah, go on.
Roy was very angered by Adam's response and told him off that he was very serious in getting a buddy and that it's Adam's responsibility to show. Adam, clearly embarrassed and guilty about his mistake, apologized immediately and promised to get him a buddy. On the very day, a buddy Sam was found for Roy. Roy was very unhappy with Adam and confronted Adam and his buddy when he was able to have an official meetup session with his mentor. Adam experienced to Roy that the organization has no current practice in place for meetup sessions to be arranged between mentors and mentees, and it is a practice for mentees to take self-initiative to do so in arranging for meetings with their mentors, and also that his mentor is currently out of town and will only be back the next day. Adam himself, being a new staff also, was at the moment in time speaking on personal experience and also based on what Jean had told him. Sam, who was present, agreed and helped to explain to Roy on the practice. Roy kept quiet, and Adam unknowingly thought that Roy has understood the organization practice. Hence, Adam did not continue to check with Roy on this aspect. The following day, Roy had a feedback session with his manager, and Adam was called upon to sit in as a part of the orientation program. Roy brought up with the issue on Adam's failure to get him a buddy promptly, and he has not introduced to his mentor at all. He complained about the poor management of the HR mentor and buddy system, and that it was not effective at all, and that he expressed that he is very unhappy with Adam as he felt that he was not doing his job at all. Adam tried to explain to Roy and his manager about what happened and also reassured Roy that he will take the suggestions of improving on the system and was apologetic about the issue. He told Roy's manager that he will bring Roy to see his mentor after this session, as his mentor is back in the office. After being a leave for the past week, Roy was still very unhappy with Adam and continued telling Adam off in front of his managers.
Okay. So you understood by everyone? Anjan, Suman, Vedahi?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please give a brief about it? I'm a little bit confused about this HR buddy thing only.
You are confused about it.
Yes, ma'am. Like why
Okay.
there is a need of this buddy?
So generally what happens during induction in the organization, they either have a mentor, HR mentor, or any departmental mentor who is available for new joinees to give them training, making them understand the KRAs and the systems in the organization. The job of the buddy basically is to look after the person in terms of giving them information about things which is not there in the policy. So, for example, stationery kahan se milega, where are the toilets, what are the facilities available. So, in general, just to handhold a new joinee in the organization, this buddy and mentor systems are introduced in induction part of the induction.
So ma'am, इसमें why he got furious when he was not assigned a buddy? Because otherwise जो mentor होते हैं, हम mentor जो mentee का role है, वो तो we have seen personally that
Yeah,
we have been assigned a mentor or anyone who trains us, gives us the in and out and rules and protocols of
information.
the company procedure. But this buddy,
Right.
like, is it a mandatory part कि जो होना जरूरी है, नहीं मिले तो इंसान गुस्से हो जाएगा? Like, is this a
See, in
hypothetical
this case
scenario?
study,
And
this in
what
this
is the
case study,
importance?
if you read this two paragraphs, the first one,
Mhm.
he asked for, so the company has a provision, right? That anybody can ask, any new joinee can ask for a buddy. It's
And
just
what
that,
is it? Okay, I'm so
eh,
sorry, ma'am.
yeah,
Uh,
sorry, in this paragraph, in the afternoon during the HR briefing, Adam mentioned to Roy that there is a buddy system in place, but it is only on an opt basis. So whosoever wants to opt for this can really avail the facility of having an HR buddy, and he opts for it. Still,
and
Adam forgets about it somehow because he was involved in a lot of things, and that's when the furiousness starts creeping in the
what
entire
is the
system.
importance of HR buddy altogether in employee's life in case that is for the starting of that person because never
Only
heard
for the
about.
starting, for generally for a month, 10 days, 15 days, depending upon company to company. This is how they generally keep it.
And practically, ma'am, a work role like kind of like these are the informal things about telling toilets, coffee machine, these type of
Both
things.
formal and informal, both. So a lot of things are there which you generally can't keep asking your managers all the time. Or somehow people are lost when they join an organization, right?
Hmm.
Not just in terms of the facility, but also, knowing about the company, where to find more information. A lot of things which keeps happening, right? Especially when people are generally new in the company. If people have some experience in previous companies, still they know how to, find out their way out of this.
Most of the time
Yeah,
for
but
freshers,
when
ma'am.
freshers joins in the organization, for freshers, it's always very clueless in the organization. What are people expecting from them? So these buddies basically have an experience in the organization. So they just handhold you, take care of you for that 15 days, 10 days time.
Ma'am,
Not functionally. Hmm.
ma'am, can I give real life example of my organization?
Yes, yes, please, please.
And when I joined the organization, so buddy system is also there because the
Hmm.
the experienced senior executives are also there, subject matter experts is also there. So
Hmm.
it trained you. Because if you go first day in the system and you process the any work in the system, so it creates escalation, it creates a lot of escalation. So first day they will align your buddy. So
Hmm.
he or she will teach you how the works will done in future and how you will handle these situations in the real life scenarios.
Yeah.
All right. So, ma'am, though I have never, like, even I have worked with big companies, but I was never aware of this phenomena. Though I got initial help being fresher
Hmm.
from some people, I thought out of courtesy or like they were trying to do. So, I never knew that it was a formal term. So, it is called HR buddy, ma'am.
Some organization has HR buddy, some has buddy system. Buddy can be from your own department as well. So not necessary that everybody joins in HR. Whatever department you're joining, generally they try to bring the employee, the buddy from your department. In
Got
this
it, ma'am.
scenario
Got it.
also, it is the same thing.
Right. Thank you.
So now these are the questions that you have to answer on the basis of the case study. So number first is that as an HR practitioner point of view, what should Adam do to resolve the issue? If you would have been Adam, how would you have resolved the issue? Or as an HR, how do you think that Adam should do it?
And first I will convince the that person, and I will tell him about what the challenges I have faced, and I forgot this for the issue. And
Hmm.
first thing is I will calm and relax down that person that and apologize that person that was my mistake, and I will not fulfill that task. I have to align the body on time, but some other circumstances and some other work, I am busy in other stuff. So that is the reason I forgot that thing. But in future, I will assure you that it will not happen again. So I will align the body for him again.
Hmm.
So first thing is first we have to relax and calm down that employee because he is angry in this state. So first we have to relax and calm down that person.
Yeah. Okay. Suman, what's your point of view?
Ma'am, I will ask sign somebody on the side, but I will directly go to Roy and will apologize and directly ask him that if there is any assistance required, he can contact me directly. And alongside the new person has been in a join, like has been arranged as a buddy for him with the immediate effect. So these are the like this is the concerned person that he can contact in case. Otherwise,
Hmm.
I am also available for the help in case he finds. So he can directly reach out to me or the other person that I have already assigned. Before going to him, I will assign that person and will apologize for the delay and just make up for it with a quick chat with the person, a new person, and introducing that person personally to him
Hmm.
with Roy.
Which Adam has already done that, right? Adam has already said sorry to Roy, but still it is not really solvable. So what do you think is there? That's the second
That is what
question
I
as
said, ma'am.
well. Yeah, Roy is
I
very
I just
unhappy.
bring out.
Hmm.
And first we have to observe that employee. First thing is that because he's
Hmm.
in angry state. So first thing as an HR, I have to relax and calm down that person. Okay, it was my mistake and I apologize that. And I will give my number also that if you face an issue, I will assign you a person. If he or she will not meet you on that proper time, so you can reach out to me without hesitation. That's
I
Hmm.
it.
also said the same, ma'am, but he is still unhappy.
Yeah,
Employees
he's
are
still unhappy.
So,
employees are always unhappy, ma'am. They are not.
so what we will be doing, ma'am, we can just take that other buddy and Roy out for a coffee out of the office and in the evening or anything, and we'll just treat them and we will just be resolving a issue informally. If it can happen or there is a chance. If he is still unhappy, let him be because we have done our work of assigning, and this is
Yeah,
a add to him. Anybody can do a error at workplace. This is not something that should be taken to heart, so something that was
correct.
missed by an employee and will not be repeated. So this was a kind of lesson.
Absolutely. Yeah, good. And then the third question. So, what would you have done as HR manager of the company? If you were an HR manager, what would you have done now? What kind of onboarding and orientation program is suitable for the organization, as per you?
Ma'am, I have already arranged a mentor for that person, and all the details of the mentor, email, everything would have been shared with the person,
Hmm.
that for the formal and informal, any kind of information related to work, he can directly reach to that person, no matter what, but within the office timings and post office timings, 1 or 2 hours if they need. So this person is available for them. And I'll make sure that that person that I have assigned as a buddy is, you know, wise enough, or like, experienced enough, that he is polite to the new joinee and can take their like hasty calls or like some impatient calls in the start, so that the new joinee can calm down and settle down in the environment. So that I can
Hmm.
do, so that they can directly reach out to mentor, that can also act as a buddy for time being, rather than assigning a new buddy altogether to
Hmm.
just keeping two-person on the same task. The mentor will be solving that task altogether.
Okay, that can be done. All right, good. Anjan, what's your take as an HR manager now? What kind of onboarding program you will design?
Ma'am, about onboarding program, ma'am, first I will complete all the documentation process of the employees who are employed in our organization. And second thing is the induction program. First day I will take the orientation program for that employees. What are the
Hmm.
vision and missions of the companies? So I will clearly define them. They have to work. And after that, when they will align with the project, so I will easily send them a key responsibility areas to that employees, that they know what are their roles and responsibilities in the organizations from my side.
Okay.
And, and as an HR manager, I will try to resolve the problems of the employees also if they are facing any challenges in the workstation or in any place. So they can reach out to me in a, via call or in an email also.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, see, idea behind this case study was to see and understand from an organization point of view that there are a lot of things which can go wrong, especially when we are designing onboarding and orientation. Similarly, many other things that is designed by HR, a lot of things can go wrong if the implementation and practical things are not taken care of very seriously by the HR people. In this particular scenario, we the entire thing, right from first paragraph, if you read, that Adam is also fresh from school and a newly recruited HR practitioner. So, giving a responsibility of arranging and organizing an onboarding program to a newly recruited a person is obviously a wrong thing, wrong choice, which was done by this organization. So, we'll have to ensure when we are designing for our own companies or organization, if we are designing an induction program, we will never do that, because orientation is something, induction is something where you are trying to bring all the information about the company to the new joinees, and anybody whosoever has spent a lot of time in the organization can be the only one who can bring all the information. Somebody who is new, somebody who doesn't even know the entire status of the organization today, just been 2 3 months in the organization, will not be able to do justice to the induction system, right? So purely on the basis of how the things needs to be done, the entire selection of people here is wrong. Then Adam's senior, Jean, was completely wrong. Right? She just suggested that nobody has ever opted for buddy system, so I think nobody will do that. So she took it so casually as a manager, and the same thing then got cascaded down to Adam's level. He also started taking it so lightly, and that is why the whole scenario of Roy being upset and all that thing has happened in the organization. So orientation is one such program. I'm sure if you have gone through any good colleges or universities, even in school nowadays, they conduct orientation program for a fresher year whenever you go to a new class. The idea is to have an introduction done with the people around you, the practices around you, the processes which are there, so that people can run day-to-day challenges. People can really work on day-to-day things that is been assigned to them in a very, very normal manner. That's the whole idea, that how you can really make somebody really enjoyable during their first days itself in the organization. So that's the whole purpose of orientation and induction. That's why it's become very, very integral and very, what do you call it, very vital function of HR. You can go so creative in this particular area. You can design. So, like, buddy system is new for Suman. Though buddy system has been going on in organization for quite some time now. There are a lot of new things that HRs have introduced, best practices for induction and orientation in the companies. You need to go through them, search them, that, what are the new things that organizations are doing as per the culture of the organization. A lot of new things are happening around. People try and bring in fun factors on the first day because it gets so boring. Suppose you join an organization from morning to evening, first day है तो ज़्यादा काम नहीं होता है generally. So what you do first day is you're just chilling, either meeting people out in the organization, getting to know the building systems, how things are going on. Other than that, you do not have too much things to do. So as an HR, ensure that you are utilizing people's time. They are engaged in the organization through whatever things you are doing, whatever you plan to do. This is what we are going to study today, that what is induction, how you can make induction more creative, how people should not get bored, because hiring is one important step that has been over now. You did resource the candidate, good candidate, right candidate for the job. Now the candidate has accepted the offer, have put in the notice period and joined the organization. Now, if the orientation and induction will not be great, will not really be taken care of properly, that person, there are chances that person might leave the organization unhappy. And this is the scenario in many organizations where people tend to leave the organization within first 6 months during their probation. That is being said that their orientation program was not being done in a nice manner, and that is the reason why most people tend to leave the jobs initial 6 months. Right? So this is the whole purpose of doing this particular chapter. Now let me come back to the PPT. So the difference between the three, right? Onboarding, induction, and orientation is this. So onboarding basically talks about, it focuses on integrating team into our company through a combination of education and support. That means you're telling them information, education, and support that is required for them to work in the organization. Onboarding starts the moment your new hire signs the contract and accomplishes all the required employee paperwork. So, the moment offer letter is being sent and the person has signed the offer letter and he or she has given their joining details and documents to you, this is when the onboarding starts, basically. Right? Not on the first day when the employee comes into the organization. So if there is a gap when the person has taken an offer letter and then the person has to serve the notice period in the previous organization, how are you going to engage for that 1 month or 2 months, whatever is the notice period, is also very crucial. Most of the people change their mind during that time also. Then आता है onboarding. So what is the onboarding process? Releasing the offer acceptance, waiting period, which is the notice period that I'm talking about, the day of joining, when the person is actually visiting your organization for joining this department, then coordinating with other departments. So, what needs to be done? Your process flow needs to be so thorough that as an HR, you are aware that this person will be talking to these four departments as well. So, coordinating between these four departments is very important on the first day so that all of the department heads or the people who are they meeting with, dealing with on a day-to-day basis can come together and they can really do the onboarding properly. Then training and orientation, will come to that, and the first quarter. So the first quarter, as I said, generally we keep it for a probation. It's very important. People generally tend to leave the organizations in the first quarter itself purely because of their unhappiness, that they are not really happy in the organization because they did not understand their could not understand their job responsibilities well. They could not understand the organization culture really well. They could not understand the environment. So all these things has to be incorporated into the process very seamlessly. People generally tend to behave nicely then. Now, these are the four C's of onboarding. What needs to be taken care of by you as an HR. So onboarding mein, we generally talk about these four things. So this is what I generally design. My onboardings like this: compliance, clarification, culture, and connection. So these four things I feel is very, very important for anybody who joins in.
Ma'am, I have a
Compliance,
one question, ma'am. Ma'am,
yes,
please.
please. Sure.
Ma'am, compliance means it is related to data fuzzing also, na? Compliance, if you are misleading the data of the organization, so that is also to come under compliance.
That
Manipulating the
comes under data security. Yeah.
manipulating the data is also called compliance.
Yes, yes. That is also compliance. So there is a compliance for that as well. How to ensure that your data is secured.
Well, so what is the culture is I not understand what is culture that means.
आ रहे हैं हम उस पे अभी चलते हैं आगे
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
एक्सप्लेन करते हैं नो प्रॉब्लम. So compliance is largely all the important documents, like you both said, that when people join in, you need to ensure that all the documentations and everything is done. So compliance is from that point of view. ESI, PF, gratuities, whatever is required, all the forms and documentation that is required for a person's attention, you generally get it filled. So that's compliance. Then clarification. Clarification generally happens on job rules and responsibilities. I need to know why I have joined this organization. So I need to know why I am required. What are the things on a day-to-day basis I am supposed to do? And that is when the clarifications on job role and the responsibility comes in. Then culture. Culture is meeting people, people you are going to deal with, the environment of the organization that you are going to do this. Your seat is basically done in a proper manner or not. Have you done something for their lunch or, snacks and whatever? Because the person has come very new. They don't know whether you have a cafeteria or not. Usually people ask these questions before joining. But as an organization, what are you doing? What is the kind of things that you are offering it to them as a part of the culture? And then connections. Connections is again people, right? फिर आता है क्या बेनिफिट है अब आपका ऑनबोर्डिंग करने का? व्हाई आर यू डूइंग ऑनबोर्डिंग in the organization? Number one is maximizing retention and loyalty. People uh, feel very happy if their first few weeks are being spent in the organization really well. If they are engaged, they know what I am supposed to do. There are people helping and supporting them. So they feel very happy. And that's when they become very loyal to the organization and stay in the organization for a longer term period. Then strengthen company culture. Uh, Absolutely correct. If somebody, we design the onboarding properly, because एक आध एम्प्लॉय की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं हम यहाँ ज्वाइन करने के लिए. ऑनबोर्डिंग इज फॉर कंपनीज जहाँ पर almost every month 10 200 people, 300 people, 15 people, 20 new people are joining in the organization. So it's not just about one person joining the organization like the case study says. It's about group of people joining the organization, and how as a company culture you are portraying yourself in front of them, especially for experienced people. अब experience के साथ क्या होता है? Some people have already seen some organization. So like two of you are here, right? Both of you are working somewhere in an organization. Now you have to change an organization. So you carry certain expectations from your previous experiences that this is how my organization was. ऐसा मेरे साथ अच्छा अच्छा किया था पुरानी कंपनी में when I joined first. अब अगर वहीं पर नई organization में nothing is replicated, there is nothing good happening. There is nothing valuable happening for the new employee. So that means the company culture talks of toxicity in that organization. It's not really giving them a very good impression. So good onboarding, good orientation always strengthens company culture for a long time period. Then foster belongingness and inclusion. So very much related with the first point, retention and loyalty. But yes, belongingness and inclusion is very, very important. How do I feel valued for an organization? Right? That has to be thought. How any new person can be really made to be felt that it's a sense of ownership, that it's your organization, you're joining this organization. How are you going to feel happy about this or not in the company? So that has to be seen, right? Then I have maximize productivity. So how are you going to maximize productivity through orientation? When you have understood your job roles and responsibility clearly well, you know that everything that is required from you to do in the organization, right from your job analysis, description, your managers, your equipment, computers, lightning, place, everything is assigned to you in a nice manner, then your productivity automatically increases for the organization within the organization because whatever you have asked for is already there with you. Then minimize business risk for sure. If the attrition is less, then there is a risk which is less as well, right? Uh, your job responsibilities have been understood very clearly by you. So that means there are no chances of making mistakes. There are less chances of going wrong in the entire system. You have understood the processes really well, which is being drafted by the organization. So that means whatever you're doing as per the guidelines. You were doing as per the policies, as per the SOPs, which is mentioned there. So that means you don't really have a risk of getting into any kind of problems during the time period. Then reduce cost of turnover for sure. When attrition is less, so obviously the cost is going to be very less. Then attract top talent, very important. Every good organization where they have a very good onboarding system or orientation system really talks very high for their things. You can see it on LinkedIn, on social media. Companies nowadays showcases how they are welcoming the people in the organization in the first 60-30 days. And that's when they actually start attracting top talent. So it becomes a kind of a brand value for the organization if the orientation program is designed really, really well. Now, these are the phases of onboarding. One is pre-boarding, then induction, which we were just talking about in the first slide, and orientation. So the difference between the three will come now. So induction and orientation are very much a part of onboarding. Pre-boarding में क्या करते हैं हम? Pre-boarding में we are giving them offer, we are giving acceptance, information about joining, and introduction of the company. What is the history of the organization when it started? Everything about the organization is being given in the pre-boarding phase. Then induction का क्या मीनिंग है? अब आप क्या करेंगे यहाँ पर? Introduction of employee in the organization. Very importantly, anybody whosoever has joined the organization should be introduced to the entire organization. अगर आप कभी किसी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम कर रहे हैं तो वहां पर जनरली क्या होता है, देयर इज अ सिस्टम ऑफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग एवरीबडी थ्रू अ फोटोग्राफ, अ ब्रीफ प्रोफाइल अबाउट द पर्सन वुड गो ऑन द इंट्रानेट, इधर थ्रू व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स और थ्रू इंट्रानेट, जो भी HRIS सॉफ्टवेयर है उसके थ्रू सबके पास इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंच जाती है फॉर द न्यू एम्प्लॉय, सो दैट इन फ्यूचर एनीबडी हुसोएवर वांट्स टू गेट इन टच विद द एम्प्लॉय कैन गेट इन टच. स्मॉलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में जनरली 1-on-1 इंटरव्यूज इंट्रोडक्शंस करा देते हैं. सेकेंड फिर इसका है प्रोसेस ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग पॉलिसीज प्रोसेस एंड सिस्टम. सो इंडक्शन का मीनिंग क्या है? ऑनबोर्डिंग तो पूरा सिस्टम हो गया जो हम डिजाइन कर रहे हैं. उसके अंदर इंडक्शन का मीनिंग है कि आप पॉलिसीज के बारे में बता रहे हैं, प्रोसेसेस के बारे में बता रहे हैं, किन सिस्टम्स पे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चल रही है उसके बारे में आप बात कर रहे हैं और बता रहे हैं. This is how induction process looks like in an organization. We generally bring in employee for meet and greet, introduction to their own teams in whichever department they are joining. Then organization overview is being given either through a video or a PPT or whatever format. Then work policies. whatever important HR policies or work policies that has to be introduced to the person then and there. It's a mandate, it's a compliance also, and it's a very integral part of somebody to have them understand the organization skills. Right? यहीं पर इसी जगह पर ही इंडक्शन के अंदर जब हम वर्क पॉलिसीज की बात कर रहे होते हैं वहां पर हमें उसके अंदर वो भी करा देना चाहिए साथ साथ सेंसिटिविटी ट्रेनिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली सो सेंसिटिविटी में क्या क्या चीजें आ रही हैं जेंडर सेंसिटिविटी आ गया या आपकी पॉश पॉलिसी है प्रिवेंशन ऑफ सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट उसके बारे में आप इसके अंदर से बता देंगे so all those things has to be really taken care of during that time because as per government it is mandatory that any new joinee who joins the organization should know about the gender sensitivity how people are working different kind of people are working in the organization if you have people from third gender या LGBTIQ सब उनके साथ भी जो भी आप सेंसिटिविटी के लिए आपने गाइडलाइंस बनाई है you need to ensure that all those things are being given to the employees during that so these trainings are also organized as a part of the induction process फिर है role and expectations of course now I want to know my roles and expectations what is expected out of me in the organization all those things then is being given all your KRAs and KPIs everything is then handed over by the mentors then process compliances क्या क्या compliance के process हैं और क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो important है PF के forms भरवा लिए आपने या सब forms जितने भी जरूरी हैं सब चीजें आपने पूरी करा ली employee insurance है तो इसको पूरा करा लिया सारी की सारी चीजें जो भी हैं आपकी वो यहाँ पर आपने प्रोसेस से रिलेटेड जितने कंप्लायंस है वो पूरे कर लिए देन है परफॉर्मेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स अब आ जाता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के परफॉर्मेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स दैट माय रोल इज फाइन दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सपोज टू डू दिस इज माय जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन what is the organization standard of high performance that has to be given all those things so this is where the mentor basically comes in so mentor basically tells them that this is how the organization's case studies have been ये सब चीजें हम कर चुके हैं यहाँ पर हमारा प्रोडक्ट ज्यादा है ये मार्केट है ये टारगेट्स है all those things then you're starting to talk about now and then last is review and feedback so usually review and feedback generally is given by the new employee generally it is not on the first day that you can ask for but maybe after 7 days it's very important that you review that whether the person has really understood all these things that is mentioned here in this particular process or not because इसमें से कुछ भी चीज अगर उनको नहीं समझ आएगी या नहीं आई है so then the whole purpose of organizing an induction process really does not solve problems right understood this shall we move ahead
Yes, ma'am.
देन आता है कवरेज के अंदर क्या क्या चीजें आप कर रहे हैं इसके अंदर अब आप हिस्ट्री विजन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में गोल्स वैल्यूज relationship structures people and performance efficiency so very importantly all these things has to be clear to the to the new employees कंपनी के विजन कंपनी का बिजनेस पॉलिसीज बिजनेस गोल्स क्या है वैल्यू सिस्टम्स क्या है रिलेशनशिप स्ट्रक्चर इन द सेंस हायरार्की स्ट्रक्चर सब किस तरीके से आपका इंफॉर्मेशन फ्लो होगा किस तरीके से एस्केलेशन होगा ये सब चीजें बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर होनी चाहिए जो हमने स्ट्रैटेजी के एचआरएम में पढ़ा था देन पीपल किन किन लोगों के साथ आपको क्या काम पड़ सकता है कौन आपके सेम लेवल पर है कौन आपके सीनियर्स हैं कौन आपके अंडर आपके काम करेंगे जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू पीपल है उस जो आपके साथ काम करेंगे क्लोजली उन सब की इंफॉर्मेशन देना ऑल्सो ऑफ द की पीपल सो हम जब एचआर ऑनबोर्डिंग पीपीटी डिजाइन करते हैं या वीडियोस डिजाइन करते हैं तो वी ट्राई एंड ब्रिंग इन फोटोग्राफ्स ऑफ से अगर आपकी लीडरशिप टीम जो है जो भी कोर टीम है बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स हैं उन सबकी फोटोग्राफ्स लेके उनके बारे में ब्रीफ प्रोफाइल उसमें डाल दिया वीडियो में या पीपीटी में सो दैट पीपल आर अवेयर बिकॉज फर्स्ट डे पे इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर देम टू मीट ऑल द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स और ऑल द कोर टीम मेंबर्स सीनियर मेंबर्स so it's very important that the things are designed in a manner that people are aware कि okay this is my CHRO because not every employee will meet the CHRO on the first day they might meet the HR manager senior HR manager AGMs तो इसी तरीके से सीईओ से हर कोई नहीं मिलता है शुरू में आकर सीनियर नहीं है तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन कौन कौन से लोग आपके लिए जरूरी है मिलने और कौन कौन से रोज नहीं मिलते हैं, तो उनके बारे में आप किस तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचा दोगे फॉर एवरी न्यू एम्प्लॉय। देन परफॉर्मेंस प्रोफिशिएंसी लाइक वी जस्ट डिड इन द लास्ट स्लाइड, कि आपका क्या, आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्टेड है, what is it that is expected out of you in terms of your profitability, productivity that you are supposed to do in the organization, that has to be given to them in a proper manner. अब ये आ गया फिर से हमारा बेनिफिट्स ऑफ व्हाई वी आर डूइंग दिस इंडक्शन, ऑल दीज थिंग्स जिसकी भी हम बात कर रहे हैं इतनी सारी। बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि क्यों इतना टाइम लगा रहे हैं हम ऑन बोर्डिंग के अंदर, व्हाई सो मेनी थिंग्स, व्हाई आर वी मेकिंग इट सो कॉम्प्लेक्स, right? But it is not actually to make it complex, it is actually to make somebody's life very simpler in terms of the understanding and avoiding any kind of confusions that can arise. Because there are new people who are joining the organization और बहुत clueless हो जाते हैं पहले 2-4 दिनों के अंदर, तो वो सब चीजें किस तरीके से आप रिमूव कर सकते हैं, that is when it comes to save. सो पहला इसका बेनिफिट होता है टाइम एंड रिसोर्सेज सेव हो रहा है बहुत ज्यादा। जितनी प्लानिंग अच्छी होगी ऑन बोर्डिंग की, उतना आपका टाइम और रिसोर्सेज दोनों सेव हो रहा है। देन इट्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू गेट क्रिएटिव, लाइक आई जस्ट स्टार्टेड विद दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग दैट आपका ऑन बोर्डिंग या इंडक्शन जो भी डिजाइन कर रहा है वो इतना क्रिएटिव हो सकता है यहाँ पर, इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट ट्रीटिंग एन इंडक्शन टिक वॉक एक्सरसाइज की बस करना है, वो नहीं करना है। You have to spend time. You have to ensure that people are happy. On the first day, there is a happiness. I tell you different examples what we have done as a consulting firm for so many of our clients. हमने इस लेवल तक हम लोग गए कि हमने गेमिफिकेशन तक लॉन्च किया है ऑन बोर्डिंग में। गेमिफिकेशन इन द सेंस वी प्लेड कंप्लीट ट्रेजर हंट विद द न्यू एम्प्लॉयज। 3 घंटे के लिए ट्रेजर हंट कैसे खेलते हैं, ट्रेजर हंट में एक स्लिप्स दे देते हैं, हर जगह पे क्लू छोड़ दिया जाता है उस स्लिप के अंदर। सो वंस द पर्सन विल रीड द क्लू ऑन द स्लिप, दे गेट की नेक्स्ट क्लू कहाँ पर मिलने वाला है। सो उसको हमने कंपनी की वैल्यूज के साथ रिलेट करके वो पूरा गेम डिजाइन किया था, एंड एवरीबडी इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन इन दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन and people are very happy the first day when they spend time in playing that particular game in the organization. It gives different kind of high altogether, right? So this is one example of onboarding that you can design. फिर सेकेंड हमने किया था, ये बहुत कॉमन सी चीजें हो गई हैं अब तो खैर, कि किसका भी जो भी नया एम्प्लॉय आ रहा है उसका बे एरिया सजा दो प्रॉपरली, जो भी उनकी सिटिंग एरिया है जहां पर भी वो बैठेंगे, केबिन है तो केबिन, अगर उनकी सीट है तो सीट, जो भी चीजें हैं उनका वहां पर आपने उस पे बलून्स लगा दिए, फ्लावर्स रख दिए, समथिंग और दी अदर, सो दैट इट इज लुकिंग रियली नाइस and it is visible from the distance that somebody new is joining the organization. Then we also introduced wine and chocolate box, because वो थोड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऐसा था जहाँ पे वाइन वाला कल्चर चलता था, तो वो वाइन बॉटल देते थे हम सीनियर लोगों के लिए सिर्फ। then for juniors we did chocolate boxes with a flower bouquet on the first day itself. So ये सारी की सारी छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, these are gestures basically that has been introduced. Now there is a company जिसके अंदर हमने किया था CEO's letter. Suppose you have joined the organization for the first time, तो सीईओ के नाम से हमने हैंड रिटन लेटर पहले से ही बनवा के रखे थे। उसके ऊपर सीईओ के ही हैंड राइटिंग में नाम भी लिखा जाएगा आपका। सो फॉर एग्जांपल अंजन इज ज्वाइनिंग दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सो उसके ऊपर नाम लिखा होगा डियर अंजन, देन दैट लेटर, लेटर इज आल्सो हैंड रिटन, इट्स नॉट आई मीन टाइप्ड या टेकन आउट फ्रॉम प्रिंट। और उसके अंदर सारी कुछ जो भी कंपनी का विजन है सीईओ का अपनी कंपनी के लिए, दैट इज बीइंग रिटन एंड वेलकमिंग देम इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो दीज आर स्मॉलर थिंग that can be a part of. That's why I said that second part, that induction you can make as creative as possible, totally depending upon you what kind of new ideas that you want to bring in. Then third point कहता है इसमें, the better the induction process, the more efficient and effective the employee will be. Because आपने सारी confusions दूर कर दी है उनको, उनको ट्रेनिंग दे दी है आपने, उनकी नॉलेज बता दी है, उनको क्या करना है बता दिया है, किन लोगों के साथ बैठ के करना है वो उनसे मिलवा दिया है आपने, जो भी चीज हो सकती है उनको पहले से ही दे दी शुरू के 1-2 महीनों में। अब उनका इंडक्शन इतना थॉरो हो गया है that they are willing to really perform very very good in the organization. So these people, ऐसा सर्वेस भी हो रखे हैं बहुत सारे जिन्होंने ये कहा है कि अगर ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम आपका अच्छा होगा कंपनी का, so there are chances कि people will get much more better productive and profitable for your organization. फिर है फीलिंग सपोर्टेड एंड लिसन टू, फॉर श्योर। लाइक अभी आपने केस स्टडी में भी पढ़ा कि जब भी कोई एम्प्लॉय को उनको पता है कि आई हैव अ गेट और आई हैव अ प्लेस वेयर आई कैन गो एंड पीपल आर लिसनिंग टू मी, my complaints would be listened to, my feedbacks would be taken care of, my reviews would be listened to. So जहाँ पर ये वाली फीलिंग आप दे देते हो ना वैल्यू वाली, वहां पर ऑटोमेटिकली मोरल भी बूस्ट हो जाता है, मोटिवेशन भी बूस्ट रहता है और कॉन्फिडेंस भी अच्छा रहता है. So this is how the entire system has to be created. बच्चा सबसे पहले स्कूल जाता है ना, नर्सरी केजी में, वहां पर बहुत अच्छे ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं, कभी अगर आप लोगों ने कर रहे हो अटेंड. So, I remember my my child's first day in the school, जब बहुत छोटा था, 2-3 साल का. पहला ओरिएंटेशन उनके स्कूल वालों ने इतना ज्यादा अच्छा करा था that he felt happy. मतलब एज अ पेरेंट ऑब्वियसली वी वर फीलिंग हैप्पी बिकॉज एक तो हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन जब एचआर में होते हैं तो ओरिएंटेशन से अलग सी हो जाती है. उस वजह से भी बहुत हैप्पी थे. प्लस दे क्रिएटेड डिफरेंट गेम्स फॉर द फर्स्ट डे इटसेल्फ फॉर किड्स टू प्ले, सो दैट वो बर्डन नहीं लग रहा था बच्चों को कि स्कूल जा रहे हैं तो बर्डन होगा पढ़ाई का. दे इन शॉर्ट कि हम इंजॉय करने जा रहे हैं, फन एक्टिविटीज भी होंगी, मम्मी पापा भी साथ में है, टीचर्स भी बहुत अच्छे से मिल रहे हैं. सो इट वाज लाइक अ पार्टी, फेस्टिवल एंड एजुकेशन, ऑल थ्री मिक्स टुगेदर. This is how the orientation were designed, and I really loved that concept, and this is what we also try to bring in the organizations कि तीनों चीजें क्यों हम मिलकर नहीं लगा सकते हैं ओरिएंटेशन के अंदर, so that people feel very very happy about it, उनको comfort level मिल जाता है पहले दिन में. Then last point is helping to sustain a positive company culture. इसके बारे में हम ऑलरेडी बात कर ही चुके हैं. अब आता है ओरिएंटेशन. हमने इंडक्शन की बात कर ली, ऑनबोर्डिंग की बात कर ली, अब ओरिएंटेशन क्या है. The company has the opportunity to make each new employee comfortable with the way the company does business. And the employee has the chance to ease into a new job. This is called orientation. कि आपको अपनी जॉब रिलेटेड जितनी भी जानकारी है, anything that is there in the organization, you are then getting to know about it in detail. इसके अंदर क्या इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हैं अब ओरिएंटेशन के अंदर? चेकलिस्ट. चेकलिस्ट के अंदर क्या क्या आएगा कि पहले दिन के अंदर हमें उनको क्या क्या देना है, तो उनका जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन दे दिया, वो चेकलिस्ट हो गई. आपने उनको पॉलिसीज एंड प्रोसीजर बता दिए, वो हो गया. वर्क प्लेस कंडक्ट क्या होता है, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, वो बता दिया. उनकी पोजिशनल ट्रेनिंग क्या है, कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में प्लेस्ड होंगे, किस तरीके से उनकी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम होगा, कौन से प्रोडक्ट सर्विसेज के ऊपर उनको पहले दिन ही ट्रेनिंग देना जरूरी है. अगर सेल्स डिपार्टमेंट में लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, सो उनको देन आपको ट्रेनिंग देना पड़ता है सेल्स टेक्निक का, क्योंकि हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की सेल्स की ट्रेनिंग, टेक्निक की ट्रेनिंग अलग होती है. सेल्स सब लोग कहते हैं बहुत कॉमन सी बात है, सब जगह सेम ही होता है, बट किस तरीके से आपने कोल्ड कॉलिंग पे जाना है या किस लोगों से मिलना है, आपकी क्लाइंट लिस्ट कैसी रहेगी, ये सारी की सारी जानकारी जो है उस पोजिशनल ट्रेनिंग के अंदर वहां पर दी जाती है. कस्टमर सर्विस पे है तो फिर कस्टमर सर्विस ट्रेनिंग शुरू के ही दिनों में देनी पड़ती है. सो ओरिएंटेशन मतलब नाउ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग यू टू योर जॉब एंड एवरीथिंग दैट इज रिलेटेड टू योर जॉब. These are some types of orientations that is being done in the organization. सबसे पहला है सेल्फ बेस्ड ऑनलाइन लर्निंग प्रोग्राम्स. बहुत सारी कंपनीज ने अब क्या कर दिया है, सारा सिस्टम ही सॉफ्टवेयर बेसिस पे कर दिया है. सो नाउ राइट फ्रॉम कंपनीज इंट्रोडक्शन to HR policies, to all the important things that you need to know about the company, your job description and everything. Everything is now there in a format. जैसे कोर्सेरा के कोर्सेज होते हैं या उद्यमी के कोर्सेज होते हैं, इसी फॉर्मेट में डाल दिए जाते हैं. अब इसका एक क्राइटेरिया रख दिया जाता है कि आपका जैसे आपका सेल्फ पेस्ड लर्निंग प्रोग्राम है, तो आप पता कैसे चलेगा कि अगर अंजन ने ज्वाइन किया है और सुषमा ने ज्वाइन किया है, तो सुषमा और अंजन का मुझे कैसे पता कि इन दोनों ने कंप्लीट कर लिया है वो कोर्स या नहीं. तो हम इसके बाद एक क्विज प्रोग्राम रख देते हैं, उसी से रिलेटेड जो जानकारी इसके अंदर ऑलरेडी दे दी है This quiz program will then justify, सुषमा को क्लियर करना पड़ेगा 80% के साथ, अंजन को क्लियर करना पड़ेगा 80% के साथ. 80% नहीं आए, they will have to again go through this online training program, और मैक्सिमम 3 बार तक वो ये प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं. 3 प्रोग्राम करने के बाद भी अगर वो क्विज नहीं क्लियर कर पाए 80% या जो भी परसेंटेज आपने रखी है, दैट मीन्स दैट एम्प्लॉय इज नॉट सीरियस टू ज्वाइन योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, और वहीं पर डिसीजन ले लिया जाता है उसको ना रखने का, अनलेस कोई बहुत जस्टिफिकेशन है उनके पास क्यों उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं करा. राइट. सेकेंड, इसके अंदर इंपॉर्टेंट आता है ओरिएंटेशन टाइप में वन ऑन वन मीटिंग्स टू डिस्कस वर्क एंड प्रोवाइड कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक. Very, very important. And orientation is not just one day's thing. We have to understand that कि जब हम इंडक्शन और ऑनबोर्डिंग की बात करते हैं, इट्स अ 3 मंथली प्रोग्राम यूजुअली. 3 मंथली प्रोग्राम क्यों है? क्योंकि लंबे समय तक आपने कंपनी में एम्प्लॉय को साथ रखना है. इट इज नॉट जस्ट वन डे दैट एवरीथिंग इज गेटिंग ओवर. सो पूरे 3 महीने में आपने उनका ध्यान देना है. अलग अलग तरह की मीटिंग्स होंगी आपके मेंटोर के साथ. अभी हम जैसे बात कर रहे थे कि मेंटोर प्रोग्राम होता है, मेंटोर्स के साथ मीटिंग होती है, कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक दिया जाता है, रिव्यूज होते हैं. इसके अंदर हम ऑनबोर्डिंग के अंदर बहुत ही फेमस प्रोग्राम है जिसको कहा जाता है 7-30-60. सो 7 डे पे हम फीडबैक लेते हैं, 30 डे पे फीडबैक लेते हैं, 60 डेज के बाद फीडबैक लेते हैं नए एम्प्लॉय का कि वट एवर प्रॉब्लम्स दे हैव अंडरस्टूड. तो एक क्वेश्चन सा डिजाइन हो जाता है एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फेक्शन सर्वे की तरह. आप ऑनलाइन भेज के कर सकते हैं या डॉक्यूमेंटेशन मैनुअली करा सकते हैं. सो दिस इज हाउ यू एक्चुअली इंश्योर दैट पीपल आर रियली हैप्पी इन द कंपनीज और दे हैव अंडरस्टूड एवरीथिंग और नॉट. थर्ड तरीका आता है इसका फिर मेंटोरिंग का. To give a new hires a key resource within the company who they can go to continuously for questions and feedback. Right? This we have already discussed in the part of the case study also. So I'm sure this point is clear. फिर फोर्थ है हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग टू लर्न हाउ टू यूज मशीन्स एंड इक्विपमेंट्स. यहाँ पर अब बहुत सारे कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर्स होते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के अंदर जिनका काम यही होता है कि जो भी मशीन्स और इक्विपमेंट्स हैं या सिस्टम्स हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के जो करना बहुत जरूरी है एम्प्लॉयज के लिए, वो उस पे आपको सारी की सारी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाए. सो कंप्लीट हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग ऑन मशीन्स, इक्विपमेंट्स एंड सिस्टम्स. फिफ्थ ट्रेनिंग है इन पर्सन ग्रुप ट्रेनिंग. सो दैट सॉफ्ट स्किल्स क्या चाहिए आपको अपना काम करने के लिए, अगर कहीं पर वो लैकिंग है तो वो उसको कंप्लीट कैसे कर देंगे हम शुरू के ही दिनों में. सो सम ट्रेनिंग्स लाइक कस्टमर सर्विस ट्रेनिंग्स, टीम बिल्डिंग, क्लाइंट मैनेजमेंट, कोचिंग, ये सारी की सारी चीजें हम लोग शुरू में करा देते हैं. पूरा कैप्सूल बन जाता है ओरिएंटेशन के अंदर इसका कि जितने नए एम्प्लॉयज आए हैं उनको 2 दिन का टीम बिल्डिंग में डालेंगे, 2 दिन का कस्टमर सर्विस का है, 6 घंटे का क्लाइंट मैनेजमेंट का है, 12 घंटे का सेल्स मैनेजमेंट का कैप्सूल है. इस तरीके से कैप्सूल्स पहले से डिजाइन हो जाते हैं, उनके लिए डेज एलोकेट कर दिए जाते हैं. सो फर्स्ट 3 मंथ 6 मंथ्स इज व्हाट दे हैव टू लर्न, दे आर लर्निंग एज वेल एज दे आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द एंटायर सिस्टम, ताकि बाद में फिर आप अच्छे से उनका जूस निकाल सको. जूस निकाला ये सब हमारी कॉमन कॉर्पोरेट की भाषा में बोला जाता है इसलिए. Then है formal courses available through outside vendors or business and other topics. So कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जिसके लिए subject matter experts नहीं होते हैं available organization के अंदर. So then organizations can design and see कि बाहर कोई vendor है जो special subject matter experts होते हैं, वो consultants की तरह या outside trainer की तरह आ जाए organization में और फिर वो लोग वहां पर उस topics पे उनको training दे दे. Right? डाइवर्सिटी एंड जेंडर सेंसिटाइजेशन ट्रेनिंग, जैसा मैंने अभी बोला था कि वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली अगर आप पॉश पॉलिसीज के अंदर आपके पास है, आप मतलब मैंडेटरी है, तो ये ऑप्शन ही नहीं है इसका. तो जेंडर सेंसिटाइजेशन ट्रेनिंग और डाइवर्सिटी ट्रेनिंग देना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एम्प्लॉयज को. अगर इसके अंदर हम बायसनेस के अंदर की ट्रेनिंग भी डाल देते हैं तो वो और भी बढ़िया हो जाता है. ये सारे के सारे कैप्सूल्स एकदम से रेडी करके रखे रहने होते हैं. जैसे ही ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट होता है, you need to ensure that all these things are being taken care of. इस कुछ एम्प्लॉयज कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है जैसे नेटफ्लिक्स, ट्विटर, बफर, डिजिटल ओशन, सम कंपनीज, वेरी लार्ज कंपनीज, उनके अंदर किस तरीके से ऑनबोर्डिंग किए जाते हैं उसकी कुछ एग्जांपल्स है. सो नेटफ्लिक्स कैसे करता है, दे इंश्योर कि टेक्नोलॉजी का प्रॉपर अच्छे तरीके से यूज हो. जितने सी सूट एग्जीक्यूटिव्स हैं उनको सब कुछ कंपनी के बारे में पता हो, स्पेशली द कंपनीज ethos, right? So their technological needs, employee significant responsibilities, सब कुछ उनको अच्छे से डिजाइन करके रख देते हैं ताकि पीपल कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट प्रोग्राम रियली वेल। डिजिटल ओशन में क्या होता है? So you can see that they provide balloons at their desk to help locate their workstation, a handwritten welcome note, and bottle of champagne and company swag. Then Twitter has 75 steps. पहले था, अब तो खैर चेंज हो गया है ना, ट्विटर इज एक्स। सो नया जो उनका होगा आई एम नॉट श्योर, बट ट्विटर जब तक था तब वो लोग 75 पॉइंट उनका इंडक्शन प्रोसेस होता था। तो उसको ये लोग सारा का सारा कंप्लीट करते थे कि उस सारे स्टेप्स को फॉलो कर रहे हैं। एक के बाद एक ये हो गया, फॉर्म्स फिल हो गए, आई कार्ड बन गया, इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंच गई, डिपार्टमेंट तक पहुंच गई, बायोमेट्रिक्स के अंदर थम्स अप हो गया, सब चीजें, सारी की सारी चीजें। सो एवरीथिंग वाज रिटन डाउन वेरी नीटली। उसी को हम चेकलिस्ट कहते हैं। फिर बफर में क्या होता है? थ्री बडी सिस्टम है। थ्री बडी सिस्टम जैसे अभी हम बात कर रहे थे कि एक एचआर बडी होता है और एक मेंटर बडी, वहां पर उन्होंने तीन चीजें रखी हुई है। 6 वीक्स पूरा प्रोग्राम है, तीन लोग आपको दे दिए जाते हैं। एक है आपका लीडर बडी, विच इज अ मेंटर, सीनियर पर्सन इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, जिसका काम है आपको आपसे जॉब से रिलेटेड या आप कोई भी मेंटोरिंग या कोचिंग चाहिए उससे रिलेटेड आपको कुछ बात करनी है। तो रोल बडी, आपके रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज अगर आप कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो, नहीं समझ रहे हो, सो सम आपके पीयर ग्रुप में से। एंड देन कल्चर बडी, कल्चर बडी का काम है कल्चर से आपको इंट्रोडक्शन कराना, उसके बारे में आपकी सारी जानकारी भी देना। राइट, सो दिस इज हाउ दे हैव डिजाइन्ड दिस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम। ये होती है नए एम्प्लॉय की ओरिएंटेशन चेकलिस्ट। यूजुअली मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैव सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ थिंग, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन आपके पास क्या क्या चीजें हैं इसके अंदर। So you can go through it and you can see what kind of things are there. So right from your office towards से क्या क्या चीजें उनको जानना है, वॉइस मेल, ईमेल आईडीज, कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी, कहाँ पर स्टाफ मीटिंग होगी, एनडीए साइन करना है, इंजरी रिपोर्ट्स कैसे बनानी है, कॉम्पिटेंसी असेसमेंट्स कैसे होंगे, कस्टमर सर्विस कैसे होगा, परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, इंश्योरेंस, compliance, job descriptions, everything, you name it and it is there. इसके बाद क्या होता है? जब ये पूरी चेकलिस्ट कंप्लीट हो जाती है तो इसके बाद एम्प्लॉय का इस पे सिग्नेचर ले लिया जाता है कि दे हैव अंडरस्टूड ड्यूरिंग द एंटायर ऑनबोर्डिंग प्रोसेस ऑफ वट एवर टाइम पीरियड, 1 महीने का था, 1 हफ्ते का था, 4 दिन का था। आप उसके बाद उनके सिग्नेचर्स ले लेते हैं, उनका नाम लिख के, डेट लिख के, डिपार्टमेंट लिख के, एंड देन you keep it in their personal file that they have understood all these things really well. Right? So this is about your onboarding and induction. Any questions now you have or anything that you guys want to share or ask, please feel free. You guys are there?
Yes, ma'am, but I just joined from half away. So I'm just
How
thinking
I
what was all
join
this.
later. Sure. Suman, Anjan, any questions? So Sushma, just to make you understand what we started with is what is onboarding, induction and orientation. So onboarding हम पूरे प्रोग्राम को कहते हैं जो हम रखते हैं whenever a new person joins the organization. Correct? So that is called onboarding. So ये उसी के बारे में था initial. Onboarding का ही पार्ट होता है फिर आपका induction and orientation. Induction के अंदर हम क्या बताते हैं जनरली? कंपनी पॉलिसीज के बारे में, रोल्स एंड एक्सपेक्टेशन, दिस इज व्हाट द इंडक्शन प्रोसेस. And then orientation. Orientation is usually longer. Orientation is about knowing the work that is supposed to be done by this person and the related skills and competencies that is required to do that job. So orientation के अंदर वो सारी की सारी चीजें आ जाती है जो एम्प्लॉय को जरूरी चाहिए अपना काम पूरा करने के लिए. So that's how your onboarding पूरा complete system is designed in the way. in the organization. राइट, तो बहुत सिंपल चीजें हैं, बट वही है जिस तरीके से आप अगर ये वाली स्लाइड देखते हैं कि कैसे कैसे नए नए अलग अलग वो हुए हैं, कंपनीज ने डिजाइन किए हैं ऑनबोर्डिंग प्रोसेसेस, दैट इज व्हाट योर एंटायर थिंग इज अबाउट, कि आप किस तरीके से क्या नई चीज लगा सकते हो. सो अभी आज का जो असाइनमेंट है वो यही है. इफ आई डोंट नो वेयर यू गाइस आर, so if you can just think of something new, what are you going to do as a HR if you are given a responsibility of organizing a complete orientation system for the organization? What as an HR you will do very, very creatively? Just think of it and let me know right now. ऐसा क्या आता है आपके दिमाग में जो आप कर सकते हो नया? Guys, are you there? Say yes or a no or say something. Only
Ma'am,
Sushma is
I'm
talking
there.
now.
I'm just thinking what can be done. Mm, Basically, ma'am, what I do is online work from home. So we usually organize video sessions or Google Meet sessions, and then we make this orientation program. So I'm just thinking how it will actually happen in office courses. I'm not aware of it. So I'm just thinking how it could be. That's it.
What kind of job do you do, Sushma?
I'm a mentor, ma'am. Actually, I was a recruiter. Then I just changed it to the mentor. Now it's presently I'm working as a mentor in a influencer marketing platform. I'm a mentor.
Okay, and what does it mean? I mean, the mentor in influential marketing.
Actually, we train managers for our platform for them to
Hmm.
contact influencer for brand collaboration. So we train from the step one till they make the collaboration successful. We train till there.
Okay, nice, good. So you never worked in an organization. I mean, it has always been work from home.
Yes, ma'am. I initially joined the same platform as a manager. Then I was promoted to recruiter, HR recruiter, and then again I just shifted it to mentor. It's like this. So never before I have worked in an office. When I joined as HR recruiter, then I found this topic to be interesting, HR. So then I
Hmm.
decided to join any one of the course and go into detail about the subject. That's why I've joined here.
Okay. Huh, HR is very interesting and onboarding can really be very interesting. Depending upon work from home में भी बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है. For example, you can arrange for a CEO's interaction with the new employee. 5 minutes का वेलकम उन्होंने कुछ दे दिया. और यू कैन सेंड अक्रॉस. हम लोग क्या करते थे एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, वी यूज टू सेंड द स्वीट बॉक्स एट होम, and the letter was addressed to the parents that thank you for upbringing of your child in such a nice manner that he or she has obtained this particular job in this organization, and we are very thankful to the parents. So that kind of a welcome letter can be sent to the parents with a sweet box or something, because जनरली क्या होता है कि एज ई सेड ना, ऑनबोर्डिंग ऐसी चीज है जहाँ आप इसको इमोशनली सेंटिमेंटल एंजॉयमेंट फन कुछ भी बना सकते हैं. And the more factors, the more pointers you bring in into the entire system, the more employee will feel inclined to. stay in the organization for longer. Imagine कोई letter अब आपके घर आया होगा कि सुषमा के husband के नाम पे या parents के नाम पे that you have given wonderful nurturing to Sushma and we are happy to give her this job and all that. So वो पेरेंट्स भी नहीं भूल सकते हैं वो वाला एक्सपीरियंस कभी भी और आप भी नहीं भूल सकते वो जेस्चर. So these things, smaller things, but that makes people generally emotional, loyal towards the companies. So it's that way. So think of it. Yeah, maybe in the next class we can discuss. If not now, I'm not sure where these guys are. Proxy लगा रहे हैं ये लोग सुमन और रंजन. So right, this is what topic is all about. Yeah, you want to say something, Ranjan? I was calling out your name so long.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it is all about the onboarding products, onboarding, induction, and all the things how the companies can do onboarding and about the induction. Induction companies tell about the policies, about the work culture of the organization.
हाँ वो तो हो गया बट मेरा क्वेश्चन था what as an HR you can do differently.
Ma'am, as an HR, I can tell the policies to my employees and clear the vision and missions very clearly so that they can understand in a creative way, like in a dramatic way. Because if I join the Cognizant, so my HR has played integrity and loyalty is our topic. So we have played in a dramatic way so that everyone can understand that what we are talking about.
Role plays, right?
Ma'am.
Hmm. Nice. Okay, cool. So anything, any questions on this topic, or shall we just call it a day? Let's meet tomorrow.
Ma'am, actually, regarding the books, what you shared in the
Hmm.
group, I told the PDF is not available, but some PDFs are available on basics of HRM. So, are they all the same as what we are learning, or because they are being given by different universities? So can I use them for
What
reference?
what books are there?
PDF
I
for
mean,
basic. No, it is a PDF basics for HRM. So many PDFs are there. That's why I'm confused.
I think that would be enough. The basics at least would be same. So you can एक बार भेज के दिखा देना मुझे. I mean, if you can send the link to me, I'll just go through it. कि कौन से PDF पे कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटीज का कॉलेज का है. Because you know
Yes, ma'am. I will send it to your WhatsApp.
बहुत सारी CD ग्रेड वाली यूनिवर्सिटीज और कॉलेजेस भी हैं. बहुत अच्छा स्टडी मटेरियल नहीं दे रहे हैं वो स्टूडेंट्स को. That's a major question mark on that. So I'll just go through that. Let me just see the quality of it. Um, and then maybe yes, we can do that. पर अगर कभी खरीद सको तो गैरी डेसलर की जरूर खरीदना. गैरी
Ma'am,
डेसलर का वाई.
can I share one case study in the group? Because one of my organization development teacher tell about the Indian Bank's union system. So first female employee after the independence. So what are the challenges she faced? So can I share that case study in the group?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल absolutely. HR से related anything you guys can share in the group.
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
जितनी अच्छी लर्निंग होगी और आप इस ग्रुप का सबसे अच्छा फायदा क्या है कि आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम वी हैव गॉट अ ग्रुप. एक हमारा बैच 5 था. आई थिंक इसके अंदर सब प्रोफेशनल्स थे. 7-8 हम लोग 9 बच्चे थे उसमें. ऑल ऑफ देम वर प्रोफेशनल एंड जिस तरीके से हमने पढ़ाई किया था उसमें इट वाज वेरी डिफरेंट. So you guys can actually bring in your experiences and exposure and make this learning much more better. सिर्फ मेरे एक्सपीरियंस क्यों आप लोगों के भी शेयर किए जा सकते हैं. So please do share case studies in the group and try and solve those case studies also together.
Yes, ma'am.
So कल की क्लास अटेंड करनी है सबने. So then I'll send you another case study in the group. Go through that
Yes,
case
ma'am.
study and then all of you are going to present that case study tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. I will attend the class.
Good. Okay. Sushma, Suman, I'll share the case
Yes, ma'am,
study in the
tomorrow I'm
group,
attending.
right? So just try and do that, the case study, and try and present it in the group. ठीक है? So
Ma'am,
no questions on, yeah,
ma'am, it
this
is in the
topic.
presentation form, ma'am.
हाँ, we'll do in presentation format.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है जी? Thank you so much for attending the session today. I'll share this PPT in the group.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and on the book I was saying that अगर गैरी रेसलर के आप खरीद सकते हो, तो गैरी रेसलर is one of the best books because उनका जो नया, जैसे ही उनका नया एडिशन आता है गैरी रेसलर का, एक तो उन्होंने जो अभी नई बुक निकाली है बैजू वाकरे सर के साथ, तो बैजू वाकरे सर इज IIM अहमदाबाद के प्रोफेसर. ही इज वन ऑफ दोज प्रोफेसर जिन्होंने हमें HR पढ़ाया था उस टाइम पे 2006-7 में. सो ही इज वेरी गुड. उनकी केस स्टडीज है इस बुक में, गैरी रेसलर और बैजू वार्की की बुक में. लॉट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल केस स्टडीज, वेरी गुड केस स्टडीज, वो खरीद सकते हो उस बुक. तो वो लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए अगर HR में करियर बनाना है तो इट्स वेरी गुड. महंगी है थोड़ी सी, 1200-1300 रुपए की आई थिंक, बट इट्स वर्थ इट, राइट? सो दैट्स ऑल, एंड यू विल सेंड मी द लिंक सुषमा, एंड आई सी कि बुक कैसी है वो वाली जो आप कह रहे हो. ऑलराइट, थैंक यू सो मच. गुड नाइट.